my God. Welcome back to Garage Tours. I'm your host, Chris Forsberg, and this week we head down to Rhine Built in Denver, North Carolina. Bill Rhine and his crew are at the top of their craft restoring vintage stock cars. We hear they have an enormous collection and stories to match. Well, this wasn't the easiest place to find, but by the looks of it, we're in the right spot. We're out here at Rhine Built, which is the world's leader in vintage stock car restoration. Really excited to hop inside and see what they're working on. Man.
Hey.
Bill, how you doing?
How are you, sir?
Yeah.
Good to see you, man.
Nice to meet you. Well, this is much different than some of the other shops that we visited. You want to tell us a little bit about what you guys do here?
We restore original, vintage, and historic NASCARs. I like what NASCAR is, but I love what it was. Yeah. From the 70s through the 80s, it just caught my attention. It's spectacular. This is like what really grew the sport, this era here. You know, when you talk about Dale Earnhardt's 1981 Rod Osterlund #2 Wrangler Pontiac, or Tim Richmond's famous car Sadie that won Pocono and Darlington in 1984. This one was actually owned and is still owned by David Sosby, son of Dober Sosby, who was a famous NASCAR beach racer back in the day, and we're restoring that for him. This one, we got a phone call and someone said, I got Dale Earnhart's 1981 Rod Osterlund car.
Sure
and we're like,
do.
yeah, sure you do. But we actually go back to the original guys that worked on these cars, and we bring them in and we get their stories and we have them verify the cars. That's one of the cool things we get to experience, is seeing these guys, you know, they're just like, wow, where did you find it? How did you, you know, they never expect these things to still be around.
It's incredible.
It is. Here at Rhine Enterprises, Rhine Built, we do just about everything in-house, all the fab work. We don't build engines, gears, or transmissions, but everything else from the chassis work, suspension, fuel system, body hanging, as you can see by this, we do in-house here.
Man, that is awesome. Yeah, when we were over at Hendrick, we saw they have the grid that lays over top of the car. It leaves almost no room for interpretation, but I hear a lot of stories about these old cars getting twisted, playing with the templates and such, so.
Well, you said templates. Back in the old days, there was a template, one, and it went from about the edge of the nose and the hood to about the spoiler, and everything else was
just kind of go to town.
Yeah, you could be very creative back in the day. This is an old Butch Mock and Bobber Healy car, the old Ray Mock race team from back in the day. They ran NASCAR starting at about 1977. She's restored immaculate. I actually went back to Bobber Healy and asked him, I said, I need a motor exactly like what was in this thing back in the day. So he put this motor together for me. About a 620 horsepower engine. That's about all they had back in the day.
That's solid.
Yeah. She's one of the few of the big cars left. You got to sit in this thing, because imagine running 190 miles an hour at Atlanta, sitting in that.
What is with this pedal combo?
Well, you just put them where you needed them.
Yeah, you just kind of swing them aside. You're not going to hit that brake, right?
Exactly. Not at Atlanta. I hope not.
190 miles an hour in this thing, huh?
In that. It was pretty crazy back then.
It was a different time.
Pretty great, yeah.
Wow.
This is the unrestored 1993 Al Unser Jr. Daytona 500 car. And I believe, if I remember correctly, Waddell Wilson was the crew chief on it. I'm actually going to contact Waddell next week, get him out here to look at it and start telling stories about it. And we'll gather information up and then set this one in the run to get restored.
That's got to be the most fun of either before or after the builds, just bringing the original guys out and just hearing their stories about the car itself and where it's been and how they built it and kind of what differences there were. Differences, we'll call them, from the rules.
Yes.
Just like what you could get away with at those times. It's awesome. So, I know you're going to try and tell me this was a car, but what are we looking at here?
You are looking at the only 1968 Holman Moody Allen Mann Can-Am car ever built.
Wow.
It was found about 3 years ago by a gentleman out west and brought here to do a full restoration. It's basically an aluminum lunchbox.
Really
that
fast
went
one.
Crazy fast, yeah.
All right, Bill, we've got a pretty good grasp of what you guys do here. Awesome craftsmanship, fantastic builds, cool stories. It's a really cool spot.
We haven't seen anything yet.
Oh, yeah?
We got to get over to the barn and show you what's out there.
Oh, man, you got another spot? How are we getting there?
Let me show you.
All right, let's go.
Well, I'll meet you over at the farm.
All right.
Doug's going to give you a ride in this 55 Chevy blown big block. We'll catch up with you real soon.
All right. Let's see what this thing's got, Doug. Oh my God. Are you kidding? This is seriously impressive, and we could spend a week, maybe even a month in here talking about all these cars, but gotta know, what's your favorite one here?
If I'd have to put a favorite,
It's gotta be one.
1985 Tim Richmond Old Milwaukee Beer Pontiac Ventura. You saw the Pontiac Le Mans at the shop, which was the cup car.
Okay.
But this was the Busch car. I love the body style of Pontiac Ventura. I love that it was Tim Richmond. She's one of the rougher ones we found.
Needs a little work.
But with some loving, she'll be just as nice as the ones in the shop.
I'm sure you guys will be able to handle it. Thanks again, Bill. You guys have an amazing collection of cars, and your restoration fabrication is just top notch. I've never seen anything like it.
Cool. Thank you so much. I'm glad we could teach you a little bit and show you the other side of NASCAR, the old side of NASCAR.
Yeah, that's right. And as you guys say, it's keep history alive, right?
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.
You got it. Man, what a rad collection. Despite all the advancements in technology, it's amazing to see those vintage stock cars having a lot of similarities with the race cars of today. Catch you next week on Garage Tours.